As a 25-year-old law school dropout with no previous business experience, I was able to build a multiple 8-figure company in just a few years, and that was because I chose the right business idea. At this point, I've worked with thousands of entrepreneurs over the past few years, and I can tell you that just simply working hard is not enough to be the recipe of success. You actually have to have the right opportunity that you're working hard in order to almost guarantee success. So that's what I'm going to cover in this video here. I'm going to talk about what defines a great business idea or a great business opportunity, and then the top 5 business opportunities I would start today if I was to have to start everything over again. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Ravi Abuvala, founder of Scaling with Systems, where we build profitable client acquisition systems for our clients, and I have seen them all. I've seen good businesses, good industries, bad offers, good teams, bad teams, and so I've boiled down all of the characteristics that I've noticed that I did wrong when I first started my business, and now I help people do right as they're launching their business to market. One of the best things that you can do when you're launching a new business is directly impact somebody else's revenue. So this may seem obvious, but a lot of people out there are thinking of being life coaches or holistic coaches or personal trainers, and all of that stuff is great. I'm not saying that you can't make a lot of money doing that. But what I'm saying is that one of the easiest ways to convince somebody to give you money is if you can almost guarantee that you're going to directly give them money back. The reason why my company is able to make over $10 million is because we directly build client acquisition systems that brings our clients more money. Imagine if instead I did something like, I was a personal trainer for my clients, or maybe I made them happier. If I was doing that to them, I would have to wait for my clients to have to go in their mind and figure out what is happiness worth to me? Or if they didn't figure that out themselves, I'd have to educate that on my client, which I'm not saying you're not able to do that, but I'm saying it's more difficult to do. So instead of saying, hey, your happiness is worth $5,000, so you should give me $3,000, I'm saying, hey, I'm going to make you $10,000, so you should give me $5,000. You see how much easier that sale is? The second thing that I'm looking at when I'm trying to start a new business is this a desperate need in this industry? So not just a nice to have, not just like, oh yeah, that would really help me out, but like, oh my God, I am not gonna live unless I have this thing right now. If you're watching this video and maybe you've tried a few businesses in the past, or your friends or family have tried a few businesses in the past and they failed, one of the main reasons could be because they were selling a nice to have. I'll give you a few examples of nice to have. Nice to have could be something that, makes your face a little bit better or makes your hair smell a little bit better. A nice to have could be something like a Porsche or something along those lines, where it's not absolutely gonna transform that person's life. Now, once again, just like I talked about earlier with the direct impact on revenue, you could argue that a Porsche is an increase in status. An increase in status will get you better people around you, and that will change your life, but you're making a lot of leaps in order to make that happen. Now, instead, if you go and you find an audience that is dying for this thing, then whenever you sell it to them, they'll pay whatever price is required to satiate that need. This is why the e-learning market is exploding right now, and why a lot of people are becoming online coaches and course creators, is because they are going to be able to say, hey, that big problem that you have right now, I'm going to solve it for you through this information here. And unfortunately, what happens a lot of the times is that people are getting quote unquote scammed, although I don't believe in that, but they're getting scammed because that is such a desperate need that that person isn't even doing any research on the person. They're not even looking up them online. They're not looking at the reviews, and they're just saying, oh, please solve this need for me. Here's $5,000. So even a terrible business owner, if they have a desperate enough need in the marketplace, can still make sales. And the final thing that I'm looking for here before I dive into the actual business ideas that I would start myself is the market. Is the market itself growing? Is it shrinking? Are there more people joining it every single day? Other people bringing more people into this market for me so I can sell more people to this market? How much money does this market have, and how much disposable income does this market have? Because it's going to be a lot easier to sell to a growing market that has a high disposable income than a shrinking market that has not a high disposable income amount. To give you an example, I have a client named Paul who, when he came to us, he was servicing students. As soon as they graduated from college, he was helping them get placement at a job. And he was doing okay when he came to us originally, but one of the main issues is, even though maybe that market is growing, when you're graduating from college, I think it's over 50% of people graduating have student debt. So these people are already $30, $50, $80, $100,000 in student debt, and he's trying to charge them another $3, $5, $10,000 to help them get a job to finally pay off that debt. And they're thinking, well, I even just went to college college so that I could help getting a job in the first place. So that is a market that even if it's maybe growing, they don't have a lot of disposable income. What Paul did was he switched his offer around to actually helping CEOs develop and build their leadership teams. And he's actually worked with Apple and Nestle and a few other companies. And because he's going after CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, now they have much more disposable income to use, and he's able to grow his business because of that. So both really similar offers. They're both teaching people how to essentially effectively communicate better, but because he's going after an industry and people, a market such as Fortune 500 CEOs or CEOs of larger companies, he's able to charge more, and it's an easier sell for him. Okay, so now that you know all the characteristics of a great business opportunity, let's actually talk about 5 business opportunities that I would start if I was restarting my business today, and I'm gonna save the best for last. The first type of business that I would start today is a recruiting business. As I work more and more with different clients, especially clients that have a large business, one of their biggest pain points and one of their biggest issues is recruiting, getting high quality talent. And if they're an experienced business owner, number one, they probably have a good bit of capital, disposable income. And number two, they already know that just one good employee could unlock hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in direct revenue to their bottom line. So if you can go find and interview and place that great talent or employee for them, they're willing to give you 30, 40% of that person's first year salary. And if the person that you're placing is $100,000 a year salary, then you're easily able to make $30,000 or $40,000 from that person. One of my good friends makes over 8 figures a year in the SaaS world, placing high level talent like engineers and CMOs for different SaaS companies. And he started 2 years ago without any previous work experience. And because it was such a desperate need, he was able to get his chops and he was able to learn as he went. And now he's one of the best people in the industry that does it. And on top of that, because it's so desperately needed and he's able to go do it for them, once they place one person with my buddy, they'll do the second person, the third person, the fourth person. So one client to my friend could be worth $1 million because it's such a desperate need and he's able to solve it for them with a little bit of work. And because he's able to solve it for them with a little bit of work, they're able to make 5, 10, 15x what they're making right now. So it's a direct impact on their bottom line. The second business idea that I would start today is video editing and distribution. Now, some could argue that maybe this isn't a direct impact on the bottom line, and I would say maybe you're right, but if you're going after the right people, such as myself, who I know there is a direct impact on the amount of these videos that I shoot and the amount of money that I make every single month, then one would argue that there are a direct correlation between those two things. So I have a few clients of mine that actually run video editing businesses, or they run businesses where they place creative assistants inside of other people's companies that are doing the video editing and the video distribution. So let's say, for example, I make 4 YouTube videos a month, and let's just say for easy numbers, because of that, I'm able to make $5,000 a month from these YouTube videos. If I didn't have to edit the videos myself, and I could probably double the amount of videos that I'm making a month, and so I can make maybe $10,000 a month for my YouTube videos, and I could stop doing the thing that I hated. And so because I was making an extra $5,000 a month from working with you, I could easily pay you $2,000 to $3,000 a month from the work that you gave me. Also, we know that this is a growing market. As more companies go online and as the e-learning space increases, more and more people are selling over video, teaching over video, and pretty much doing everything else over video. And one of the ways that your video can stand out to other people's videos is literally by the actual editing of the video itself. The third type of business that I would start, and that I actually do right now, is sales funnel creation. So like I said a second ago, as the online space grows more and more companies are transitioning online, less and less companies are doing the traditional door-to-door method, and less companies are doing the traditional cold calling method, and more people are running Facebook ads or doing online organic content like this. But the issue is that most of the time they're just saying, yeah, book a time to speak with me, or yeah, try to buy my products. And they're using like PayPal or their clunky regular website to accept payments. And if you can create a good enough sales funnel for somebody else, you can 3x, 5x, 10x their top line revenue. If somebody has a good YouTube presence online and they have hundreds of thousands of followers and maybe they want to launch a product, you can build a sales funnel that they can drive the traffic to from their YouTube videos to this website that collects information, educates the prospect, nurtures them, and even collects payment on that sales funnel. And that's a direct impact on their revenue. This is literally exactly what I do for my clients inside of Scaling with Systems, is that my clients will come to me with typically an audience and an offer, but they have no way to kind of connect these two together on a scalable level. And what I'll do is build out a sales funnel for them where we can take the audience that they have and additional audiences from cold traffic, such as Facebook ads or YouTube ads, send it into this sales funnel where they get educated, warmed up, they learn a little bit more about them, and then they're like, wow, I really want to buy this stuff. And then either they booked a call at the end of the sales funnel and they get on a call with their team already warmed up, or they'll actually purchase, depending on the price, on that sales funnel itself. And look, you may be overwhelmed by this and may, oh, I don't know how to create a sales funnel, whatever else it is. I didn't know how to create one just a few years ago myself, but I researched, I joined masterminds, I joined programs, I went through other people's sales funnels, and I saw how they did it, and then I modeled after them until I could create it myself. One of the main reasons why I love this opportunity so much is because you can actually get a profit of all of the sales that this one sales funnel makes. So you can track every single sale or person that books an appointment that comes through your sales funnel, and then you could take a 5%, 10% revenue share on all of the money that's made through that funnel. So if you help someone make $1 million through that sales funnel, which is not unheard of, you could take home 10% of that, which is $100,000 that year. And that's only going to increase as the years go on. My fourth business idea that I have for you is course creation. Now, let me first say, I don't love the word course because there's such a negative connotation around that, because so many people create quote unquote courses that are like 3 modules long. They don't actually educate anybody on anything. But if you can do this correctly, either yourself or for somebody else, you can seriously help someone achieve a transformation through e-learning, through online learning, coaching calls, one-on-ones, templates, assets, that kind of stuff. But this is a growing industry of people that are doing done-for-you services right now, where they're actually doing it themselves, and they're transitioning into a done-with-you model, where they're doing one-on-one coaching, group coaching, online courses, masterminds, and either you can do it, so you can take whatever knowledge or expertise that you have and turn it into a course and sell it as information, or maybe you're nervous, you don't want to do it, or maybe you don't know how to do it yet, you can help other people do the same thing. So I have a few clients that work with experts, authors, that kind of type of person, that kind of market, who are, their market is shrinking. People that are reading books is kind of shrinking right now. And instead of selling, hey, here's the book and you make a one-time payment and your margin is like $5, take that same expertise that you have and let's build a course or a program over here. I'll help you build it. And once again, you take 10%, 15%, 20% of whatever the revenues that they make through those course sales. The idea behind it is that they're in a shrinking industry with low profit margins, and you're helping them transition over into a high, fast growth industry that has higher profit margins, and you're taking a cut along the way. And the fifth and best business idea that I have for you that checks all of the boxes that I talked about earlier for the characteristics of a great business idea is remote integration. This is actually exactly what I started just a few years ago, but what remote integration is essentially where you're helping established business owners unlock bottlenecks inside their business so that they can scale. I have clients that pay me literally $75,000 for just a few hours of work as a remote integrator, because that few hours of work allows me to unlock a bottleneck inside their business that thus allows them to make millions of dollars extra a year. For example, I have a client named Hillel who is doing around $250,000 a month, but the reason why he couldn't scale his business was because he couldn't onboard more clients. His onboarding and fulfillment process was very clunky and very outdated. And what I did is I came in here and I created a bunch of softwares and systems that allowed him to go from onboarding 5 clients a month to onboarding 10 to 15 clients every single month. And because of that, he doubled his monthly revenue, thus doubling his annual revenue. And he's making over $2 million in additional revenue from the one thing that I did for him. And that's not capped. He can make an additional $10 million next year from it. So it becomes easy for you to charge someone $20, $30, $50, $80,000 if you know you're going to unlock for them $1 million, $2 million, $3 million from your efforts. I've personally made millions of dollars from being a remote integrator, and I have taught hundreds of other students who have created multiple 6 and even some of them multiple 7-figure incomes from their computer as a remote integrator as well. And they all come from a diverse background, so you don't have to have any kind of massive previous experience required. You can click the link in the description down below to get instant access to a masterclass that covers exactly what remote integration is, some great examples of remote integrators that you probably know. I walk through some business examples and role plays of how I've gotten paid $50,000 to $80,000 for just a few hours of work, and then I'll walk and break down each one of those problems so that you can duplicate it for somebody that you may know or you may know in the future. Also, just having a great business idea is not enough. You have to transform who you are in order to make the most out of that business idea. So be sure to check out this additional video on the screen right here, which is exactly how this one graph transformed who I was from a waiter making $2,000 a month serving breadsticks to now making over $1 million a month living the life of my dreams. I'll see you guys in that video.